Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Um, it is Saturday, April 29th, 2023. I last did a episode on Wednesday. Let's jump right into it. Uh, was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. Um, First of all, the Celtics won. We're gonna break that down. Celtics did catch a dub Thursday night in Atlanta, and I have a lot to break down on that one. I'm a little short on time today. A little short on time, but we're gonna summarize up real quick. Then I'm probably gonna do an in-depth one either tonight again or tomorrow, especially going into the round two matchups. Bucks are out. The Bucks are out. The Heat are in. Jimmy Butler is in fact him. That's one of those. I feel like it shouldn't be shocking anymore, but it's still shocking to us. We say it every year. Jimmy Butler is him. And then playoff Butler, playoff Jimmy. And then we kind of like forget about him. Then he put some mediocre seasons up and he's back. Um, we could start with that game, Heat Bucks. We're also going to quickly talk about Kings Golden State. They're going to a 7. Um, and then what else did I miss? Oh, Lakers Memphis. Their series is done. Memphis stole one on Thursday night, and then they came back. They came back, and then they Lakers closed them out last night in horrific fashion. Horrific fashion. Durkus is in the chat again. Durkus, welcome back to the chat, baby. Your Lakers look good. Eagles, Matt's back. Eagles draft was so lit, bro. See y'all on Monday. Yes, sir, Matt. Matt, look at me. Look at me. We're on episode 3. I'll link you the YouTube, Matt. I'll link you the YouTube. So I got a couple points we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna start with we'll start with the freshness. We'll start with the Lakers Memphis. So I did predict I did predict when I last did this, I've been guessing the YouTube. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, we're gonna be cranking these all night. Matt kind of inspired me to do this. Lakers Memphis. I did predict correctly on Thursday night that Memphis were gonna defend the home court. They did, and they looked good. Memphis looked good. I got nervous for the Lakers. I did. I was like, you know what? Memphis might steal this one, or they could win 3 straight against these Lakers with how they looked. I think they were down 3-1. They 3-2'd it on Thursday night, and then last night was horrific. Or what? Not Thursday night, Wednesday night, and then last night was horrific. Um, LeBron got mad. Dude, it was bad last night. I came back last night. I watched the whole game. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Kings Golden State. I got back in the fourth quarter. But dude, busted my bracket. Hell no. I was right. Also, not only did I predict right, I predicted the whole series right. I had Lakers in 6 this series against Memphis. Lakers in 6, and I put that one on the money. So LeBron, AD, let's just talk some quick stat. Yesterday it was a big third quarter, 41 points in the third quarter by the Lakers. It was over from that point on. It was kind of, a little hit or miss, 50-50 ball. Third quarter came around, it was a wrap. Um, and then yeah, Memphis folded. They waved the white flag early. Bench guys went in. It was embarrassing for the Grizzlies. But as I predicted, Lakers 1-6. Um, what's going to make it interesting is I have Sacramento advancing and beating the Lakers in the next round. And right now, Sacramento and Golden State's in a game 7. So we'll see. We'll see on that. I still have Sacramento. Um, but more about the Lakers, I think. First of all, Memphis is in a shit show right now. I mean, you got to clean up some guy. You got to get rid of Brooks. Get rid of Brooks. I like Brooks. This isn't just me riding the media wave. Get rid of Brooks, dude. The dude didn't show up. I was gonna say the whole playoffs, but they're out in the first round, so he didn't show up the whole his whole playoffs. He didn't show up the whole series. And then I like Bane there. Steven, you can argue that Steven Adams, they're missing their two big guys, but you need, I don't know, dude. I don't know if Ja can put the team in a championship position. Ja himself. Love this. Also about to go for a run. Could it be more unmotivated? I feel you. I haven't ran and I got a PT test coming up. But Ja, I don't think can get Memphis over the hump. I think there needs to be somebody else over there. Now I don't know who, but I think what we're seeing with the Grizzlies is what we're gonna get until changes are made. So I think if they stick with this, I guess, like not equation, but just like this format of how they're building their team, building around Ja, we're gonna get really fun, really good Grizzly basketball throughout the regular season, and we're gonna get some first, second round exits out of them in the postseason. You're gonna have your highlight dunks all year from Ja, and then they're gonna get wiped first, second round in the postseason like they have been. So obviously there needs to be a change there. Um, I'm not sure what the answer is because obviously you would want to keep a player like Ja in Memphis, but he needs somebody else. I don't know if it's more veterans. You could argue that, but very disappointed with Memphis. Um, but for me, it was not surprising at all. I had Lakers winning in six. They got it done in six. Let's talk about the Lakers. Lakers are a threat. I said this from the very first jump. I said it from the jump. Lakers are a threat. All the way from the play-in, I said these guys are not just a threat to the play-in to get an in. These guys are a threat to the chip, arguably. I think you can never fall asleep on LeBron. You can never fall asleep on Anthony Davis, although the inconsistencies with Davis are going to be the downfall of this team in the end. Um, he said, "Nah, you've been talking shit." Like I said, Anthony Davis will be the fall of this team in this second round. His inconsistencies are freaking horrific. He's going to show up, drop 31 game, and then not show up and give us like 11, 12, 13 the next game. And that's why they're going to lose in the second round to Sacramento. So, uh, LeBron, he's going to give you LeBron numbers the whole time. He's starting to look a little tired. I mean, you got a game six, round one. Game six, round one. Either team you go up against, if I'm the Lakers, I want to go up against Golden State, you know? They're getting old too. They're getting old too. You get an OG matchup, Lakers versus Golden State. If you get the Kings, it's a wipe. It's a wipe. It's not a sweep, but I got Sacramento in six on that one. I would even argue five. So if I'm a Lakers fan, like we have one in the chat right now, I'm praying for Golden State. Either way, Golden State, Sacramento, I think whoever comes out of that series is knocking out the Lakers in the second round. Um, but I do think the Lakers are still a good team. I think they won the trade at the All-Star break. They got a lot of young guys they could build off of so that way they can be better in the coming years. Austin Reeves, I think he's overhyped. They did this with Alex Caruso. They did it with Alex Caruso, and we're seeing another case of it with um, Austin Reeves. He's good. You send him to the Chicago Bulls, he falls right back into a role player role. You send him to any other team, he's another role player. On the Lakers, he fits perfectly. He fits well. He has the hype around him. Blah blah blah. But Austin Reeves, he's gonna be all right. So, D'Lo, I actually am a fan of D'Lo. I've loved D'Lo since he was on the Lakers originally, right? No, Golden State. I like Golden State D'Lo. They made a mistake getting rid of him. Um, Brooklyn, obviously the hype got died down over there when he went to Brooklyn, but uh, I still think he's a good player, and he proved it last night. He dropped, I think, 32, 31. Um, no, he started. Yeah, you drafted him, then you got rid of him. Then he went to Brooklyn. Um, Dirk, it's okay. We got some Lakers fans in the chat. Listen, it's okay. You guys had a better season than expected. Okay, you're gonna get a couple games in round two. You're gonna get a couple. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Old man Braun and inconsistent, injury-prone Davis are being kind of winged by your big draft pickups. I mean, not draft pickups, your trade deadline pickups and your young guys. You got a good future, okay? Enjoy the ride. That's Lakers fans, enjoy the ride. You took round one, you got in from the play-in. You guys weren't even gonna make the playoffs about a couple 2 months ago. Enjoy it. It's okay. You've done what you needed to do. The second round is an exit. We will see you in the finals. I hope Boston doesn't choke to Philly. Uh, that's I think Lakers. We'll talk more about once we know who they're going up against in the next round. I mean, you already know where I stand on it, but we can dissect that a little more once I know who we're going up against. Um, but that brings me to the next game. Last night, Kings, Golden State. Kings stole it. Light the beam. Light the beam. Um, I wouldn't even say they stole it, but I guess they were in Golden State. So I guess they did rob them. Golden State probably should have went for a closeout game there. They choked, and I think there's just something I since the beginning I've had Sacramento over Golden State, and I think I think they're gonna light the beam. I think they're gonna light the beam tomorrow. Do they play tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Uh, I just don't see Golden State is untouchable. They're the returning champs. I think you need Curry to be hot. You need freaking whatever his name is. Not Jordan Poole's pissing me off. That he's on my mind right now. Jordan Poole's if I was a Golden State, Jordan Poole's pissing me the fuck off. Like that dude, you got Golden State might want to consider getting rid of J Poole because dude won a chip in his first year and he hasn't been the same since. He hasn't been the same since. So I think, I mean, the dude, we can talk about inconsistencies all the time um, with any player, but Jay Poole is like, he went from top tier champion dog to freaking, what is he doing? What is, he needs support, but you need a hot game from Clay. Clay and Clay and Curry just seem, oh God, I don't like Golden State. No, Honey Pie, Dirkus is mad that I'm going against his team in the second round. But I'm not picking his team in the second round. I'm not picking the Lakers in the second round. So that's what's happening here. That's why he's mad. But let's see. So the Kings are gonna win it. Honestly, they're too hungry. Someone was arguing me that, oh, you could be as hungry as you want, blah blah blah. You need Steph Curry to drop 40 plus if you want a chance to win. If Steph drops 40 plus, all right, I think Golden State has a chance. But Clay, Clay needs to have his game. Jay Poole needs to just show up. I think if you could get 15 out of Jordan Poole, you're working above. You're working above average. 30 minutes. Um, but Jay Poole is going to be. I don't even want to say he's a deciding factor because I just count him out already. You just need Curry and Clay to turn up. And don't get me started on Draymond Green because let's be honest, bro. Draymond is so overrated. Straight up. If you put me on that roster, 5'10", 160, and you go throw me on that roster, I can set some picks for you and I can dish it off to the two greatest shooters of all time, Klay Thompson and freaking Steph Curry, and I can give you 7, 8, 9 assists a game. You put anybody out there where their job and their role playing role is to just pick, screen and roll, and dish it to your 1-2. Um, anybody's dropping 7, 8, 9 assists. So Draymond's overhyped, overrated, and getting old. What is he gonna do? I mean, you do need him. I'll be more than happy to do that soon, Dirk. I'm gonna start spicing it up here soon with this. We're gonna be experimenting. Honey Pie, we're in a live setting right now. You're gonna have to go ahead and just take a back seat for the next 15 to 20 minutes, because this is going on YouTube and we can't have interruptions. So, anyways, um, before I was rudely interrupted, got him. Thank you, Dirk. Before I was rudely interrupted, let's get back to it. Um, you, Draymond's overrated. Steve Kerr, the coaching job. You can say, tell me you don't watch Golden State without telling me you don't watch Golden State, but Steve Kerr is an overrated coach. Um, and because of that, like, again, all of this goes to having the two best shooters of all time ever. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Obviously, no debate there. Two best shooters. Um, anybody can coach them, dude. If you had Mike Brown on the team, bad example because Mike Brown's gonna win Coach of the Year, but I'm Udoka. You throw him on there, he's the greatest coach because he has the two best shooters. You throw, what's his name, Silas from Houston. Well, he's not on Houston anymore. You throw Silas, throw him in. Dude, who's not being considered a good coach when you have the two best shooters on your team? Steve Kerr, I mean, I've watched enough to know he's not a good coach. He just is riding the wave. Um, you're right, Dirkus. That's why it's going to go six. For that Lakers Kings matchup is I think Lakers win the matchup in a lot of games. I just don't think they're as good as Sacramento. Um, but anyways, so Kings Warriors, regardless, I think De'Aaron Fox, he's ready to move on to the second round and start doing some more damage. He looked good last night. I think he had 26. What did he have? 26 points, and he got a dub. I think the magic number um, for De'Aaron Fox is 28 points. If he could drop 28, they're gonna win on Sunday, right? Sunday, tomorrow. Um, Keegan Murray played the whole game. The dude put in 45 minutes, 15 points. That's all you need from him. He also grabbed 12 boards. Sabonis, you need more from him. And look, I mean, the Lakers won by 20. I mean, the Kings won by 20. And you had Sabonis play 23 minutes because he fouled out, but he gave you 7 points. If Sabonis gives you 20, 15 to 20, and crashes the boards a little harder, it's over. Again, De'Aaron Fox, I think 28's the magic number. Kevin Huerter, 30 minutes, the dude dropped 12 points, and he's had a tough series, the whole series, and he's usually a hitter. You fix that up. Malik Monk playing great. No complaints there. 32 minutes, 28 points. That's what you need. Trey Lyles, 12 points, 27 minutes. Again, all these guys, if they do their job tomorrow, Golden State's out in the first round. Kings are moving on to the Lakers matchup, and we'll discuss that more. But I'm happy with a Game 7 Kings. I originally had Kings in 6. We'll take a Kings in 7. Let's talk about Heat Bucks real quick. Heat Bucks. I'm shocked, still in disbelief. I still think the Bucks can come back down 3-1, and they've already been eliminated. That's how shocked I am. I still think the Bucks can come back in this series, but they're already in Cancun. So I don't. There's a lot to unpack with the Bucks Heat. However, it's over. It's over. Jimmy Butler's him. He's gonna be a problem in the East. I'm scared if I'm the Knicks, but I think the Knicks matchup, Dirkus brings up a good point with matchups, which I think is going to be the biggest um like thing that offsets teams in this second round is matchups. How do the matchups work out and how do the matchups unfold? Because I think matchups are going to win most of these games in the second round. Miami, I think they're undermanned still. I don't think Butler can average 40 plus in a full series. And I mean, you can argue as a Bucks fan, you can argue that Giannis was hurt. Giannis got hurt first 11 minutes in the first game, missed 2 games, and then, or was it 2 games? I think he missed 1 game, and then he came out hot in this third, and then no, he missed 2 games. Um, I don't think Jimmy Butler can average 40, so I do think the Heat Knicks series is going to be closer. I can see that as 6 or 7. Um, but I don't know what to say for the Bucks. I mean, what else do you do as a Bucks organization, Bucks team? Who do you go get? Who do you bring in? Who do you get rid of? It's only a first round exit, so you can only overreact so much. I mean, first in the NBA, best record, and you get a first round exit 4-1, but it's like you have every excuse in the book when Giannis goes down. Kind of, but like then were you a championship team to begin with if you rely that much on Giannis to where you get 4-1 because he's not playing? It's like then you got to start considering maybe we do have to make moves if we can't even get the job done when Giannis is out. Um, because how do you expect to win a championship if like does Giannis have to give you 45 minutes and give you 35 plus every game for you to win a chip? I mean, you're going to play better teams, and Miami Heat exposed that. A 1-8 seed, I think it's the sixth time in history that that's happened. An 8 seed beat the 1, but I don't think, like I said in the last episode, I don't think the Heat were a 8 seed or a true 8 seed, essentially. I think they just had a bad regular season, and they're proving that now. Like, I think this Heat is the Heat we've gotten the past couple years in the playoffs. Um, Everyone counted them out during the regular season, including me. I'm not gonna sit there and lie and be like, I knew this was coming from the Heat, because I didn't. But I think we're getting the same Heat that we've had. I do think in this series, Tyler Hero being out is gonna affect the series or the Heat in a negative way. Um, but I think you got a hot hand Jimmy Butler right now. I don't think he's gonna give you 40 a night, um, even 35 plus a night. But I think they're gonna win. It's gonna go distance with this Heat Knicks game. Milwaukee, we could talk more about that. I think in the future, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have episodes of teams so I can really discuss um, some takes on that. But Bucks, I'm in disbelief, sorta. But that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where you go from as a Bucks fan. I'd have to bring a person, somebody who really watches the Bucks, and get their take on what they want or what they want to see with the Bucks moving forward. Because a first round exit after finishing first is crazy. Also getting 4-1, it's not like it went distance. Um, they got handled. Let's talk about my favorite. Let's talk about my favorites. Celtics Hawks. Celtics Hawks. What a frustrating game to watch on Thursday night. Frustrating game that resulted in happiness. Celtics won 4-2 Thursday night, or they've won the series 4-2, 128 to 120, and they won in the last 4 minutes of the game because they were trading blows the whole game. We need to figure something out going into this Philly matchup. I think a lot of people have the Celtics as the favorites. Me personally, Philly with a 4-0 sweep. You got MVP Embiid. You got James Harden, which is playing okay. And then you got the up and comer who's playing lights out right now, Tyrese Maxey, and then obviously you got Joe Harris. Joe Harris, the fuck. So not Joe Harris. The fuck did I just say? You have Harris, Tobias Harris. Um, Outside of that, they don't got anybody. Are you gonna argue with me that Felton's gonna come in? Or like the Celtics are deeper than Philly, but I think Philly, like Embiid alone, is tough to stop. So when you bring all of that into um, the case, I do think this is going to be a long, annoying series as a Celtics fan. I think we've stopped Embiid before. We're gonna throw matchups. We're gonna throw double teams at him, and we have the personnel to do that. Um, but I still think it's gonna be tough. I'm predicting a Celtics in six, but I can see a Celtics in seven. I do think Celtics edge out Philly either way. Um, I just think Philly's going to be a lot tougher. However, I think the matchups are going to be better for the Celtics this series than the Hawks. Um, I kind of ignored this during the Hawks series just because I was like, oh, it's the Hawks, let's sweep them. But after watching the series and actually going to two of the games and watching it unfold, Hawks were a tough matchup for the Celtics as far as like personnel on the field. They were bigger than us, and there was just they kept getting switches. All our shooters were attacking Horford off the dribble. They were getting the switch onto Horford. Sam Hauser's getting a lot of playing time, so he's being attacked on the defensive end. People want that switch, that matchup. And it's like I feel like we didn't have an answer to the matchup, and the only reason we beat the Hawks was because we were a better team, skill-wise, and just as a team collectively, we were better. But I think that's why I went six was because Atlanta was a tough matchup for the Celtics. The matchups were just tough. Celtics, game six was so annoying to watch. Uh, Looking back at it, it was a good game. Everybody was hitting. JB 32, Tatum 30. Horford finally showed up, gave us 10. 10 timely points too. Um, Smart 22, Derek White 30 minutes, and he had his off game, 7 points. And then Brogdon played like six man of the year as expected, 17. Um, Also, I liked a lot of playing time from Grant. I like the Grant Williams play time. We're gonna need him if we want to do a deep run. And I was kind of concerned with why he wasn't playing as much, but here we are. Last 4 minutes, I think this game six was just a showing of how good the Celtics can be when their 1-2 punch play like a 1-2 punch. Um, JB, I think the stats are 23 and 1 when JB and JT drop 30 plus together. And again, it didn't prove any different on Thursday. It was a closer game, but like watching that second half, and watching JB and JT essentially take over the score, like the offensive end, was really fun to watch. And it just shows how dominant those two are when they're both on. And I think that's you can win a championship when those two play like at that level. I think now they're going to have to figure out how to hold that all the time. And you're going to need that against Philly, which I think is why the matchups are going to be better for the Celtics in this next round because I don't think um, Philly really because what the Hawks did was they doubled. They were doing a lot of doubling on Tatum, and then it would leave Brown open, or they would double. They didn't really double Brown, but they were doing a lot of doubling on Tatum. Philly can't afford to do that. Um, James Harden's going to have to guard Marcus Smart. I think that matchup, Marcus is in Marcus Smart's favor defensively, but he's going to have to Harden's going to have to stay on Embiid or freaking Smart. Tobias Harris, you put him on Tatum, Um, and then you're gonna have to put who you gonna put on Brown? You're gonna have somebody on Brown. I'm gonna have to look at Philly's lineup more. But you got to put somebody on Brown. You're gonna throw Tobias down there, and then I think the only matchup they're really winning is the Embiid matchup because she's gonna have like a Horford or a not Grant, Rob Williams, and it's like JB, JT are your 1-2 punch. What are you gonna do? Double? Are you gonna bring Harden and Tobias to double Tatum? That leaves Brown. Are you gonna bring them over to Brown? That leaves you can't double them. Um, I think the Celtics are deep, and it's gonna show in this series because they have a lot of weapons and a lot of options to how they score. Versus just go to JB or JT. Um, Derek White needs to have a big series. Marcus Smart needs to play the way he played yesterday or in game 6. And Horford needs to show up. That dude, I went to 2 Hawks games. I went to 3 and 4, game 3 and 4. The dude gave me 3 points in both those games. I watched Al Horford hit 1 3-pointer in 2 games. He gave me a goose egg on game 3. We need more than that. I'm hoping game 6 was like a revival. I know he only scored 10 points, but they were timely shots that did affect the outcome of that game. I think they're feeling confident. They felt really good after the game 6 win, so I'm hoping that transitions over. But with the Bucks being out, dude, the Celtics are the 1 seed in the East. They got home court all the way through from here on out. The only team that stops home court in the finals for them is Golden State now. Now that Memphis is or not Golden State, Denver. Now that Memphis is out, so you got the home court advantage in the East, which me personally, I think for the Celtics, it doesn't really mean that much. I mean, you're losing to the Hawks at home, but the Celtics can win on the road anyways. Regardless, I think this series is going to be the one that tests the Celtics and kind of that dictates their course, because then you're going to have to beat the Knicks or the Heat, and I think Celtics can edge those 2 teams out in a 7-game series and get back to the finals. I'm telling you, it's going to be a revenge tour. I got the Celtics winning it all this year. I think right now the Bucks being eliminated, I thought that was the biggest threat. I now do think that Philly is the next in line for that threat, and we're facing them in the second round. So this is the biggest series right here, as they got to win this series. I'm predicting a game 6. Um, I would love, again, we don't have a lot of information on Embiid. They kept it hush hush. But he was injured, but he got enough rest now. I think I heard he's playing on a knee brace. We'll see how much that affects the gameplay. I don't think it really is. I think Embiid's fine. Um, but I think the Celtics are going to be tested, and this is where they go. This is where they go and prove if they're about it or not. Um, we need more Derek White performances. Uh, Game 6 was fine because you go to a JT, JB. I'd rather have JT and JB give me 30 with Derek White giving me 7 than JT giving me 18 and D White giving me 18 in the same night. But nonetheless, Celtics in 6. I wouldn't be surprised Celtics in 5, and I wouldn't be surprised Celtics in 7. Uh, It all depends on how that goes. I do think Celtics win the matchup game, which is going to make this game a little, or this series, not easier, but just more comfortable to watch. Um, and yeah, so we'll see with that. We'll touch base with how this Kings Golden State goes, and then I think tomorrow I'll do like a true prediction down the line predictions for all the second rounders. Um, that's it for this episode. A little short one today. A little short one today. Um, Lakers are a second round exit. Lakers are a second round exit. Celtics in 6. Um, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching. This is gonna, if you're on YouTube, you know where to find me on Twitch, MetroFPSX, twitch.tv/MetroFPSX. Jesus, twitch.tv/MetroFPSX. Yeah, I got the chat box. You can come live chat it up. Um, YouTube, if you're not on the YouTube, Mr. Twitch, YouTube is I think if you type in Metro FPS, I should pop up. If not, I think it's youtube.com/Metro FPSX. Annoyingly, um, I'm working to get the handles fixed on both. But yes, sir. So I'll see you in the next episode. Adios.